Next, I'm going to work on adding a little bit of added variation to the particle movement. I can take the particle velocity and also turbulize that. It's a pre-built compound that'll add to the richness of our existing particle movement. It'll actually allow us to add a little more of a high frequency flavor to our animation. I'm also going to turn on an option in my emitter because my particles are moving fairly fast. I don't want to see layers of stratification in the particles. In other words, I don't want to see horizontal levels that can really define them being emitted at specific time intervals. So I'm enabling the fast emitter because I do have a fairly fast moving particle stream. I'm also going to take the opportunity to slow down the overall particle speed and see if I can get better clumping. So I'm going to try something extreme and go down to a speed of 3. I actually get some pretty nice movement. It's a little too slow, too snaky for me. I'm going to increase the speed to 4. And I think I might actually have have what I'm looking for there. That actually doesn't look too bad at all. Okay, so I'm going to bring in a velocity node now that adds turbulence based on the velocity itself. So I'll look up another Turbulize, and under my Turbulize compounds, modifiers, particles, I can turbulize the particle velocity and execute that every frame. If I open up the Turbulize compound, likely it's going to throw off all of the particles. So particles are moving over a fairly large scale, which I don't need. And the strength is quite high as well too. I'm going to actually lower the strength of this Turbulize effect so my initial turbulence has a little bit more weight. Take that down a little bit more, very low strength, and I'll actually lower the turbulence scale itself. So I'm working within the same scale as my Turbulize around value compound. Okay, if we get a lot of penetration, we could use obstacles, but sometimes obstacles are a poor choice when simply blowing the wind in the opposite direction for effect would look better. So let's actually nudge our particles in the positive z direction with some forces. At this point, I'm going to slow them down a little bit more. And again, I think there's just too much smoke at this point. But again, we can play around with this value later on when we actually get into render.